Hi writers, welcome to the last day of writing workshop for this week. Today is our last day and fourth day that we call generating ideas. Next week, we'll begin to start writing our story. So another way writers generate ideas is by making a list of daily rituals that you do with loved ones. What's really important for this is you remember that it has to be with a loved one. Okay, it's not something you're probably doing by yourself. So here's how I organize my notebook for today. Generating ideas for daily rituals with loved ones. I tried to split it up for different parts of my day. You don't have to do it that way. If you'd like to, you can. So I was thinking, what are some daily rituals I do in the morning with loved ones? Right, that time of the day, I usually walk my dog. Okay. If I'm somewhere special, like at the lake, I have breakfast with my family. It really depends on this daily ritual. All right, thinking about daily rituals that I do at school, right? If I were at school right now, in the morning, coming to school from the subway, I see the same people every morning. I see Miss Mary in the morning. I see Miss Janine. I see Miss Cohn every morning. So that could be a morning ritual. Another school ritual is kind of when I leave for the day. I always talk to the security guard. I'm always thinking about what I have to do when I get back. Now I'm thinking of some daily rituals for midday. And again, trying to stick to daily rituals that we do with loved ones. I could say if we were in school, it's like having lunch with Miss Cohn. I would pick one day that was really memorable that I was having lunch with Miss Cohn. It was probably a time when a lot of teachers came in and interrupted us, and then the topic of conversation got really off task. So again, you can think about lots of these daily rituals, but you want to pick a small moment from which one you remember well, right? When something happened that was memorable. So lunch with Miss Cohn. Sometimes I have lunch at the lake that's memorable, right? I remember my mom's birthday lunch last year. We all went out. I remember what we had vividly. Now I'm thinking about the afternoon. Again, I have to let my dog out. So I'm thinking if there was any memorable time in the afternoon with that loved one. I say an animal counts as a loved one. Let's see. Not a lot I do in the afternoons other than work. Sometimes I'm talking to other fourth grade teachers. I'm going to leave that blank. And then in the evening, all right, when I'm with loved ones, sometimes I like to bake with my cousin. Sometimes I like to cook dinner. Actually, a lot recently. So cook dinner. And again, you want to pick a small moment from one time when you were cooking. Sometimes in the evenings, I'll watch a show or FaceTime my parents. All right, and again, you want to pick. Now it's time to pick, right? Pick a really small moment that I remember well. Well, I do remember when I took my dog on a walk the other morning. So, the dog walk the other morning. I was with my loved one. I could say my dog is my loved one, right? Now I'm going to sketch the beginning, middle, and end of my story. Sometimes with daily rituals, right? Nothing major of beginning, middle, and end. Nothing majorly eventful can sometimes happen, but it could still be a small moment story where there was a lot going on in it, right? Lots of details, lots of actions. So I'm thinking at the beginning of the story, right? I usually go outside and make a left to go to the park, but this time I walked differently. I made a right and went down the block. The dog. So there's me. Stepping outside. Normally we go that way, but we decided to go this way today. All right, in the middle of my story, once we got to the end of the block, there was all this construction. It's really early in the morning, so there's not too many people out, but I saw lots of trucks, lots of construction workers, and I couldn't go across the street to that sidewalk. It was taped off, so I had to walk on the sidewalk on this side. And I thought, wow, what are they doing all over here? It's really noisy. It's super early in the morning. I was kind of confused. Lots of some internal thinking. Then next in my story, of course, on that block, that's when my dog goes to the bathroom and then I have to pick it up. So I remember there was some dialogue. I was definitely talking to the dog. I said, of course, you were right here, right in front of everyone where I had to pick it up. Of course, you go right here. Right. Want to add some dialogue. There's me. Dog in one hand. Trying to pick up the poop on the sidewalk in the other hand, right? She's pulling me in that direction. All right, so I thought about the beginning, middle, end of my story. Now it's time to do our last flash draft for this week. So I'll start. How does my story start? Okay. I went outside. And didn't go the usual way. We walked to the corner. And saw lots of construction workers. My dog looked excited. I kept walking. And I could tell she was going to have to use the bathroom. I cleaned up after her and finished our walk. Okay, that's my last flash draft for the week. By now, you should have, and to keep them all in one place, because we're going to go back to these next week, you should now have 4 days of brainstormed ideas, little sketches, and 4 different flash drafts. Okay, next week, we're going to decide which one we want to use. Make sure you make today's really great also. Can't wait to read it.